So how can you create a high level of value in an industry that has historically had a public perception of being a lower value industry? Doesn't matter if you're in real estate, you happen to be in the mortgage business, you could be a photographer, you could be a coffee roaster. Quite often people think, well, everybody's a dime a dozen. What can you do to stand out? Today I'm gonna break it down for you through the lens of a real estate brokerage because we've actually walked that path and really tried to set ourselves apart. So what did we do when we came into the business? We did what most real estate agents did, is we looked around and saw how business was done with buyers and sellers. What we started doing was every single week, we would itemize some aspect of the business and then break down the entire process. I know it sounds ridiculous, but we would literally write down on a piece of paper what it looked like to start working with a buyer, from picking up the phone to the questions we asked them to figure out what they wanted to buy, to setting up the portal, to looking for properties, to sending them those properties, to visiting them, to writing an offer, whether it's in multiples, whatever, doing the inspections, dealing with the mortgage agent, closing, and then after the fact. Sounds like a lot. It's really not. People do it every single day. If you're a coffee roaster, same thing with your beans, the roasting, going through the whole process. When you actually put it on paper and you spend time every single week analyzing it, quite often you can keep refining that system. And that's the trick. The way we've stayed at the top of our game and been at a place where we really try to set the standard and hope that people are watching us and try to copy what we're doing, so that keeps us sharp to keep growing, is every single week breaking down those steps and refining them. So the videos we were shooting back in 2012 to the video I shot a month ago to what we're planning on doing a year from now, it's all been a thoughtful process of taking pieces of what works and what doesn't work on different files to create the best possible product. Now, if I look at my clients and how I think of those relationships and how I can add value to them, it's not enough for me to just sell a property, cash a check, and walk away. I love doing what we call AARs here, so after action reports. What did we do well? What did we do poorly? Or what can we improve on? And then what was the story of the sale and how did we add value? Because we have to add value in every transaction, or they may have well have hired Uncle Jimmy, the real estate agent, who would do it for 1% cheaper. Really bringing a higher level of value to an industry where there are so many people in it, and people's perception of our industry, let's face it, isn't necessarily the greatest, has to be thoughtful. You know, and taking input from your clients, I'd say that's probably the biggest lesson I can leave you with tonight, is ask your clients the questions, right? Review your pricing process, review your marketing process. If you're doing new development or new construction, what are you doing differently that is adding value to that client that they couldn't have hired 20 other people to do? You know, what we try to do is provide those intangibles and those time-saving things so that our clients, while they're sitting on the golf course or somewhere else, are getting things done for them, so that they just come back and we just lay the contracts out and have put out a lot of the fires that they hired us to put out. Because ultimately, that's why people work with other people, is they're using them as leverage or partners to really level up what they're doing. But you have to be constantly growing. If you think that the status quo is enough, I promise you somebody's gonna come and take your lunch. So hopefully this inspires you to put something in your calendar every single week. I would say every day if you can during the work week, at least put 30 minutes to an hour to work on your business. Refine those systems, communicate with your clients, show them what you're doing, and you will be unstoppable. The last trick I'll leave you with is give away your best advice. 600 plus episodes deep, I have no idea what I've shared on this, but I do know other people have taken ideas we've put out there and replicated them, which is the best, honestly, thing that could ever happen to us, because it's driven us to go and find new ideas and new ways of doing things. So what are you doing to grow your business?